Hello world, I'm Chris Pirillo, and I'm streaming this live Q&A with you and me onto YouTube, although I was expecting to start it about 10 minutes ago, and YouTube Live decided that it did not want me to stream, and so I kept futzing with it, ended up streaming into a backup server, and that seems to have done the trick, so thank you for joining me. If you're not watching live, it's okay. I do 5 of these videos every week. 4 of them are exclusive to my patrons. This one, however, is for the world. I'm answering a question: how did you get to where you are today? Plane, partially a car, had another part. There's really no simple answer to this question. It's been one lifetime of having to navigate a series of challenges, not unlike the one today. You know, there's no formula that works for everybody, and this is one of the things that I've learned. You can follow in the footsteps of someone that you respect, that you admire. You can be inspired by them, and ultimately you have to walk your own path. So, how? A series of mistakes, a series of successes, a series of failures. It's an amalgamation of everything that has brought me to this point, including things that are well beyond my control. There's only so much you can do to shape your future, and so many things that you cannot modify to better shape your future, and you're best served by just navigating those waters the best you see fit. So it's difficult for me to say that this is the exact same, this is what happened, or I tell you what, if I talked about it, I'd be here for like 24 hours, not just in this simple or simplified video. But to me, and I just did an interview here earlier today with someone from the Wall Street Journal asking a very similar question, and I kind of had to step him through a series of things that have happened to answer his questions specifically. Because when I started, this landscape wasn't what it is today. It just, I would say, complete different. I would say it was completely different. The resources that I have at my disposal now just didn't exist. So I couldn't rely on them in much the same way that you might. A YouTube Live didn't exist. And granted, you know, I appreciate that it does exist. It does have a fair share of problems, as I established here at the beginning of the video, but you just got to figure out how to work your way around them. So, for example, I wanted to record this video. It wasn't working. Okay, so do I reboot? No. Okay, do I do this? Do I cycle this? Do I try this? I stepped through all these troubleshooting scenarios. Still couldn't solve the problem. Ended up streaming to a backup server. That seems to have fixed it, or maybe YouTube itself was burping. So I had to decide, am I going to do this video today? Do I need to do the video? Yes, I promised I'd do the video. I'm going to do the video. Would I have to wait until I could do the video? Yes. I would have to wait. I would have to figure it out. Sometimes you have to rely on yourself to fix problems. And sometimes the solution to the problem doesn't exist. You have to work around the problems to solve any kind of issue that you might be having. So how would I have done it? Well, if I couldn't do the video live, what I might have done is recorded it not live and then uploaded it afterwards. Maybe I would have circumvented the problem then. But I'm saying that inevitably in every situation that gets thrown at you, you just learn to adapt. And I think if I had one answer to this question, how did you get to where you are today? I think it's my ability to adapt to various situations. Twitter didn't exist. YouTube didn't exist. Facebook didn't exist. These social platforms didn't exist. And yet I figured it out. And I've continued to figure it out. To be able to move as the industry moves. To be able to evolve as I evolve. And that's, I think, crucial. You can't be someone for somebody else if that's not you. And I've had to adapt around, you know, my perspectives, my beliefs, my passions. I wouldn't say they've changed over time. Okay, maybe they have changed, or I guess been surfaced differently over time. But my interest in technology, my fascination with technology, may not match your fascination with technology. I don't care about technology the way some people do. I really don't. I care about it, but not the same way. My life does not revolve around a platform. It doesn't revolve around that. It's enhanced by technology, but my life does not revolve around technology. I find that just to be insanely limiting. Or let me put it this way, there are far more things to be interested in my life than just technology in general. So how do I, as someone who might have identified, or you might have identified with me because of our shared interest in technology, how do I tell you that that's just not my entire life? That's just maybe 5% of my life, interest in technology. Well, if your life is revolved around technology and 95% of your life, and I'm only 5%, there's going to be some disconnects there. And that's just the way it's going to be. I can't change that. I can't change myself to make you happy. Can't do it. I will do what I can do within my power and my ability and my passions and my interests to be myself and possibly align with you and your interests as much as I possibly can and adapt to how my life changes to better suit what people might want from me. I can do that. I can be reasonable in how I approach what it is that I might do, putting perspectives out there. But that's it's a part of a different kind of challenge, right? It's not just not walking somebody else's path. It's knowing that 20 years from now, I will tell you this, 20 years from now, you will be a different person. And if you're not a different person, that is very sad. If you're the same person as you were 20 years ago, or if you're even 20 in general, it's sad. You're not the same person. You've accrued 20 years worth of experience. I am absolutely a different person. Some things about me are absolutely the same. I got the same sense of humor, still enjoy Star Wars, I like software, but at a different level than some people do. Certain things are the same, but then your life changes, and you have to mold around it. Because if I was living my life like I did 20 years ago, I don't know how I'd function. The internet's not the same as it was 20 years ago. I couldn't, if I used the internet like it was around 20 years ago, I'd be considered a dinosaur. Because it's just, the internet's evolved. Our ability to connect with one another has evolved. So that's how I feel that I've been able to get to where I am today. And that's not to say that I'm thrilled with where I am. Certainly, I think I'm always striving to do better for myself and for other people. I'm trying to be a better me for you without changing who I am, accepting who I am, and being able to work with my share of shortcomings, the array of things that I think I do well, the things that I enjoy doing, and then just coming up with something that just works for everybody involved. And, some hurdles you run into you're just not expecting, like doing a live video and hearing one of your dogs snoring. Don't know if you can hear Pixie in the background. That's not Dad. It's Pixie. She's snoring in the background. Got to roll with the punches, man. Dogs start snoring, you just roll right through it. Pretty soon, you'll hear babies crying. Or, I'm sorry, not babies. Don't want to, spread any rumors. No babies. Baby crying. There was only one baby coming down the pike. That is Diana's pike. That's too much information. So, what I'm saying is you just got to feel your way through it, man. Because, you just as soon as you think you've achieved a level of mastery, man, that's when more stuff gets piled on top of you. It just never ends. It's a race that never ends. And that race of being a better you've got to adapt to various challenges, and you have to understand and accept that there's going to be a new challenge next year. There's going to be a new challenge tomorrow that you have to face. And the only way you're going to get to where you are today is by facing those challenges yesterday and continuing to face those challenges. And that is going to be completely different today than it will be 20 years from now. So just keep that in mind. So how did I get to where I am today? By solving problems every day and not putting them off until tomorrow. You got to face them today. You got to figure it out today. Figure it out. Don't let somebody else try to figure it out for you. Don't wait for somebody else to figure it out for you. It's you. I'm here for you, but in a certain, I can't live my life. I can't live your life. I'm barely living my own. I'm just saying, face those challenges. Do not put it off onto somebody else. If you're not happy, it's your responsibility. If you're bored, it's your responsibility. If you're depressed, it's your responsibility. I mean, in any one of those things, it always comes down to you. Happy, sad, mad, glad, all across the board. You are responsible for you. So if you're not happy with where you are today, it's in your power to get to where you want to be. And so everything that you did is going to bring you to where you are. It's at times like these that I wonder why I'm talking about technology half the time or geek stuff when I probably should be a motivational speaker. I thought that could be worked into. There's a new path for me, a motivational speaker. I don't know, was that motivating? Maybe it wasn't. I'll do better tomorrow, or at least I'll try to. So that's, in my opinion, that's how I'm going to answer the question today. That is how I feel I need to answer the question, how I got to where I am today. you know, hopefully everybody's on a good path. I hope if you're not happy now, I hope you're on a path to happiness, but please do not expect someone else is going to make you happy in your personal or professional life. You're responsible for that 110%. Never forget that. Never forget that. It is up to you. It's up to you to bring happiness to your own life. And you know what? If you keep that at the center of your life, I think you'll find happiness eventually. Knock on wood. Theoretically. I don't know. I can't make any promises. This is not a promise. Opinions expressed are not necessarily reflective of me. No, they are. They're my opinions. So you may have a different opinion. You may have a more qualifying question for me to answer. I may answer this question completely different next week, but it's just how I feel I needed to answer that question for you today. So thank you for asking it. Thank you if you are one of my super nomies, not just a regular nomie. Nomie, everyone's a nomie. You found me somehow. You support me somehow. Nomies or anybody. Super nomies, they're my patrons. So thank you for being a supporter either way.